I'm going to be drawing all 12 zodiacs on tiny bits of card. And the reason for that is I wanted to give them a tarot card feel to them. And plus, drawing 12 A4 size drawings would take me ages. So I figured that this would be a better solution. I did a lot of research into all the zodiac signs, and it was very interesting to read what each sign's traits were and are supposed to be. And it got me thinking to all the people that I know in my life that, you know, fall under the different kinds of zodiac signs. And I am convinced that zodiacs do somewhat play a part in our personalities. And I do believe that we are born under a certain zodiac for a reason. I am a big believer that the planets do play a part in our moods. And you might think I'm batshit crazy, but if you are interested in this sort of stuff, I actually highly recommend following Elizabeth Peru. I'll have her link here. Not sponsored. Now, they're not going to be ordinary zodiac drawings. They're going to be mutated, gory monster versions. So if you like that sort of stuff, I recommend that you sit back, relax, and let me take you on a creative process, of which I call the way my brain interprets things. These drawings I pre-sketched over 3 days. It took me 3 days to do all the concept, all the design for these. And it wasn't easy, like it was quite hard. So forgive me for not doing the sketch process on camera, but that alone took me so long to work out what I was going to do for each zodiac. So this was probably, this whole concept and this whole idea was from planning the beginning to filming and creating and everything that goes along with this. It was a week. There was a week's work in doing these tiny little pictures. This series is called If Zodiacs Were Monsters. Enjoy. Oh, and by the way, this is a 2-part series. Okay, so first cab off the rank is Aries. The Aries symbol is a ram, and the element is fire. The ruling planet is Mars, and the main color is red. Now, the personality traits of an Aries are, they are very upbeat and positive person that's full of life, and they are pretty much fearless, and they're great in leadership roles. Every Aries I've ever known, and I know a few Aries, they pretty much have the same sort of traits. They are very in your face. The Aries people that I know, and there's an exception to the rule, and I'll tell you all about that. But yeah, all the Aries that I've ever known have been very in your face and very draining for me, and I can only sort of be around an Aries for a very short amount of time because they are very draining. Now, the exception to the rule is my mum is an Aries, and she is the most carefree, laid back and totally chill person that I have ever met as an Aries. And she actually is pretty convinced that she's not an Aries, she's actually a Pisces, she reckons, because she's actually on the cusp of Pisces, I think it's Pisces and Aries. So yeah, she's pretty convinced that she was born in the wrong star sign, which I can actually see that, because yeah, she is very she's not an Aries. But yeah, like I said, all the other Aries that I've ever met have just been extremely in your face and yeah, just very upbeat. Now the picture that I've got here that I've drawn is, I wanted to start the process with a skull, and I decided to do a ram skull, and have a furry body. So skull, yeah, a skull and a furry body to sort of portray, like, I think it gives it like a very woolly mammoth type, yeah, very woolly mammoth type feel to it with the skull. I don't know why, it just does. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. Because this is the first one I did draw, because I did the zodiacs, as you'll find. I did them in order. I started from Aries and I went in the order of the actual star signs as they sort of precede each other. And yeah, no, I really enjoyed doing the skull for this one. I got a few references for this because I have never really drawn a ram skull before, but I had so much fun with this. And I forget an element in this picture. I do put it back in, I do put it in later, but I forgot to do the constellation. And as you'll see in the final picture at the end of this video, I do put that in and I do include it. But yeah, there is a few elements. I even forgot the blood, because I had the concept of the blood coming out of the eye, because most of the pictures I've tried to include the gory blood somewhere in the picture, but this I forgot. Like I said, this was the first picture I drew and I forgot a few elements, so I did go back and yeah, I did add the blood later coming out of the eye and the constellation. So yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on Aries. If you know an Aries, or if you are an Aries that is you know, very if your personality is you know, textbook Aries, because yeah, I'd like to know more people out there that are Aries, to see if that is actually a trait to most Aries. Like I said, there's an exception to the rule, like with my mum, but yeah, I do believe that we do take a lot of our traits from the zodiac. And that is my Aries right there. Energetic, ambitious, and natural born leaders. Second up is Taurus. Now, a Taurus is a bull symbol, and they are an earth element. Their ruling planet is Venus, and their main color is green. Now, the traits of a Taurus is they are strong-willed, stubborn, they don't give up easily, and they're very, very persistent. Patience is another one as well. They find pleasure in material things. They're fiercely independent. They also think that the world revolves around them. And yeah, I once again, I do know a Taurus, and my dad and my partner's father, they are Tauruses, and they are a very, very similar person. Like they have pretty much got the same qualities, and that is the stubbornness is a big one, and yeah, the persistence and not giving up. And the other thing that I've noticed with the pair of them being a Taurus as well is that they don't tend to let a lot of people into their heads. And I know my dad's like that. He doesn't let a lot of people in his head. Like, no one can sort of get to him, and no one can convince him of things. Like, he's not very persuade to people's opinions. And if he doesn't want to do something, he won't do it. He will not do it. So that's one thing I've definitely noticed with Tauruses. So they're different. They're very, very different in the fact that, yeah, very strong people, and they just don't let people get to them, which is a great quality to have. So yeah, I did the bull picture here I did in black because I wanted a bit more of a tougher element, because I wanted to portray like the strong bull theme in this, and I added nails into his head to sort of symbolize that strength. Like, he's looking at you like, hey, look at me, I've got nails in my head, I'm tough, you know, and this hasn't affected me. you know, come at me, bro, like, you know, sort of attitude. So that's why I added the nail element into the head with the blood everywhere. So it's like he, you know, someone's tried to get to him and it hasn't worked, and he's just torn them to pieces. That's why he's got blood dripping out of his mouth. And yeah, he's like, you know, come at me, bro, pretty much. So that's the concept behind the bull. I just really wanted to give a very tough element to this bull. And you'll notice the tag in his ear is the number 6, and that is the main number of a Taurus, is 6. So that's why I added it to the tag, and that was actually my partner's idea. He wanted me to put a tag in the ear. So that is my Taurus right there. Now the third star sign we have is Gemini, and they are a twins symbol, and their element is air, their ruling planet is Mercury, and the main color is yellow. This one is an interesting one because Geminis are known for their split personalities, and they like to be very social, and they have a constant thirst for knowledge, and they thrive for variety as well. And they also are very versatile zodiac, which means that they like to, they can adapt to every situation, and they love to talk. They are a conversational starter, and they like to keep the conversation going. And also, lastly, they are very curious as well. So yeah, in this picture that I have drawn, I decided to put 2 twin zombie girls into it, and one is actually trying to re-kill her twin, because you know she's not dead enough as it is being a zombie, so she's just trying to kill her a little bit more again. I have known a few Geminis in my life, and I must admit they have been quite moody, which is one of the traits that I've picked up with Geminis. But they are a very intellectual and witty sign as well, which as you can see, I've got written on the bottom of the card, is their main traits. But yeah, I just want to portray it with a pair of zombies. I love drawing zombies. So this particular picture is it's not one of my favorites. It's one of the ones I sort of struggled with to sort of figure out what I was going to do with conveying twins, and it's not one of my favorites, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it, and it was hard to sort of try and make them the same, sort of try and make twins. And as you can see, I've tried, like the chins are different and that, but you get the gist, like you get the gist of what's going on. And so that's really all I've got to say about Gemini. So this is my Gemini picture. 4th zodiac is Cancer, and the symbol for Cancer is the crab. The element is water, the ruling planet is the moon, and the colors are silver and white. Now, Cancer are nurturers. They are very nurturing people, and they crave the comfort and security and protection of their surroundings, pretty much. They love being at home. They are homebodies, and they are a very vulnerable person, wrapped in a very tough exterior. So you crack that exterior, you're gonna get a lot of, vulnerability spewing out of these particular people. They love building a family, and they have known to be quite psychic and intuitive people, and they prefer to be surrounded by a small crowd of people instead of being, surrounded by a massive amount of people, which I feel you, Cancer, because I'm the same. I don't do well in crowds of people. So yeah, this picture was this one I sort of really struggled with. I think I rubbed this one out quite a few times to sort of get different ideas. But I settled on a sort of alien monster crab type concept. He's quite cute, and I gave him a second set of eyes. Yeah, this one was definitely tough for me. I've never drawn a crab before, so I sort of took the opportunity to sort of keep it to the symbol of Cancer and try and draw a crab, because I was going to sort of cross a human with like a crab. I was going to give a like a human, like the you call the little crab claws. that's the word I was looking for. I was going to give them claws, but yeah, I ended up rubbing out the concepts of this like a lot. So yeah, to gore it up, I did the blood on his claws, like he's just mutilated something or someone. So yes, that is my little Cancer drawing right there. I don't know if I know any Cancer people. Cancer, I don't know what you call them, Cancerians. I don't know. I've made that word up. That's my word now, if it isn't already a word. But yeah, I don't think I know any Cancer zodiac people. So yeah, so that right there is my Cancer drawing. Fifth on the zodiac is Leo. Leo's symbol is a lion. The element is fire. The ruling planet is the sun, and their color is gold. Now, Leos love attention, and they are very loyal, and they're very loyal all around in every situation and relationship. And they don't keep their feelings hidden, so you pretty much know exactly what a Leo is thinking. They are very strong physically, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually, so you sort of really can't really break a Leo very, very easily anyway. They can balance their brutalness and their harmony at the same time, so they can coexist with those two emotions and be balanced instead of one being more dominant than the other. They are very creative, and they're very ambitious, and that helps them succeed in whatever they do pretty much. So, and they're very protective people. So I wasn't a huge lover of this picture when I'd done the concept of this, because this was another one that I rubbed out. I nearly had to get another piece of paper because I think I rubbed it out that much I nearly took the coating off. Yeah, this one I sort of struggle with because I'd never drawn a lion and I wanted to keep it to the lion, but I also wanted to, you know, do like a scarier, like mutant concept as well. So this one sort of had me a bit, and I honestly was not a lover of this, and this is the picture I settled on, and I was just like, no, I don't like this. I don't know what I'm gonna make of this particular picture when it's done. But to be completely honest with you, like, it's not my favorite, but when it's complete, I actually don't mind it. It's alright. It's alright. So yeah, it does end up coming off better than I thought it was going to, you know, initially, which is great. So I don't think I know any Leos. Yeah, I don't think I know any Leos that I know of, but I might. I really wanted to sort of melt. The face is sort of melting off, and in you know, on this one, which was great. And I used the gold Sharpie because I don't have any gold paints. I just use my Sharpie to have the gold sort of sparks off into the background. So yeah, that is my Leo drawing right there. Yeah, like I said, it turned out better than I thought it was going to be, really. Now, the sixth and final zodiac in this series for today is Virgo, and the Virgo's symbol is the Virgin. The element is Earth, the ruling planet is Mercury, and the colours were a bit conflicting. I found that the colours were like a light blue, or they were either like a brown or a green, so I stuck with the light blue. I went with the light blue with this one. So the traits of a Virgo are they are very hard working people, and they notice flaws, and when they do notice flaws in something, they try to fix it straight away. So they're very productive and efficient in what they do with everything that they do. They always put in 100% pretty much. Yeah, so they know how to succeed over time. So most Virgo people are very successful. And they're also delicate and sensitive people. But they're delicate and sensitive, but they're very picky. They're very picky people at the same time. And yeah, they're very logical people. Yeah, so where logic and, you know, practicality comes into things, they are very, you know, good in that situation to take those personality, to take those traits on board and apply that to, you know, apply logic and practicality to a situation. So they stay level-headed as much as they can, pretty much. So this is another one I sort of wasn't sure about because I didn't know how to portray a virgin. You know, naturally the thing that came to my head really after a while was just do a skull with blue eyes and blonde hair, and we'll stick a flower on top with a halo and there's your virgin. That was my thought anyway. But I really munted up the leaf on the left. Like, you just see, I don't know what I was thinking with that leaf. I ended up just making it really dark so you can't really see it. But see, I'm not a flower person, so I don't draw a lot of flowers. So this was another, you know, thing that I took on board to, you know, just to draw a flower. because I don't do it. And yeah, it's not the best flower. Like, I need to work on my flowers, but you know, it works. Well, I think it does anyway. So yeah, that was it. That to me looks like it's a very innocent picture with you know, it looks like the chest has been cut off and it's bleeding. So yeah, so that to me is my portrayal of a virgin, Virgo. A Virgo virgin. Oh, yes. So that is the final illustration right there. That is the first 6 of the zodiacs in this part 1. So stay tuned for part 2, which will be out next week sometime. Let me know in the comments below how accurate these traits are, because I'm really curious to know if these zodiacs, you know, are really true, because I do believe that they are, but you know, there is some sort of, you know, doubt and skepticism that I do have about this stuff. So yeah, so that's it from me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.